Hello, hello, everyone. I am delighted to be here at this On Purpose Woman Connections After Hours gathering. I'm Catherine Yarbrough. I am the founder of Speakers with Heart and a longtime member of this delightful, wonderful, glorious community, the On Purpose Woman Global Community. And I'm glad you're here with us, whether you're here with us on Zoom or you're watching this recording on our YouTube channel. Thank you for being with us. We have a wonderful speaker for you tonight, Kathy Basel. She is a treat. She is an expert with AI. She's called the AI Whisperer, and she empowers on-purpose solopreneurs to create magnetic marketing messaging using AI so they can be authentically visible and attract more ideal clients. And I know we are in for a treat because I got a little preview earlier. I can't wait to see what unfolds. She combines over 20 years of marketing expertise with her years as a transformational coach to guide clients to create their purpose-led messaging and streamline their content creation so it connects, converts, and saves them hours so they can focus on what they truly love, transforming lives. So help me welcome Kathy Basel.
Hey, thank you. And it was wonderful to have our breakout session. If you're listening to the recording, make sure you join one of these live things because it's such a wonderful community of on-purpose entrepreneurs. These are the folks I love supporting because I really believe that it's the gifts that each one of us brings. It's time to find your voice about this and stand up to be more visible so that you can make the impact in the world that you're here to make. A lot of us have had successful careers, and now it's a really time for contribution. And think about your bigger purpose around this. And oddly enough, AI can be your BFF in helping you deepen your own sense of mission about who you want to be in this next few years, this next stage of life or next stage of your business, and really help you articulate the nature of the transformation that you're here to bring. As Catherine said, I am known as the AI Whisperer, and that's because I love working with AI, combining two different experiences I've had. I was a marketer for a good long time, and to understand what an AI is, it's artificial intelligence. It's a language model, but at the same time, one of the geniuses of it is that it recognizes patterns, and we can create frameworks or instruct it with context that can really help us get specific about the kinds of outputs that we as change makers want to articulate in the world. So without further ado, I'm going to dive in because I've got trying something kind of new tonight. Like Catherine alluded to, she and I hopped on for a little preview. And I, like they say, a picture speaks 1,000 words. I'm going to try to squeak in a demo because you'd be amazed at how quickly with AI, when you give it the right context, and that's what we're going to be walking through. How do we use AI to create what I call soul meets strategy as your visibility plan? How do we create a visibility plan that doesn't exhaust us, so we're not on the hamster wheel all the time? And how do we create a framework that allows us to do it consistently and be on purpose with content that we do create? So with that, this oftentimes is what it looks like, right? As an entrepreneur, we've got many, many hats that we are wearing, and the chances are you didn't go into it to become a marketing and sales expert. You've got lots of work that you want to be doing with those ideal clients, and here you are kind of trapped on the hamster wheel. Content creation oftentimes becomes inconsistent because you got clients and then you got time to post, and then you don't have clients, and now you've it's like the constant chasing, chasing, chasing. So oftentimes it looks like inconsistent posting, which means if you're inconsistent, then you're not really driving your point home. Like we were talking about earlier, how many repetitions people need before they know, like, and trust you and want to begin to work with you, that they understand that you're the one who can create the change that they are seeking. Oftentimes I hear this all the time, that people are good at creating content, but it's only getting the crickets when they put it out there. So it's not converting to paying clients. And then oftentimes at the beginning, ChatGPT and the AIs are getting better and better at creating more human-like output. It's learning our voices, so we're more satisfied with that. But at the same time, there's certain kinds of content that we need to be creating as part of our marketing overall formula. Think of it like a recipe that you're putting into. I'm craving brownies. We're going to use brownies as our example tonight. But what's the recipe that you want to put into your bowl that is going to attract the ideal clients that you're meant to work with? So the old adage used to be that content is king, but now that everyone is jumping on the AI bandwagon, content is being churned out like never before. And ironically, because people can identify that it's made by AI, they tend to not trust it.
Mm.
So, the most important thing in my world is about connection. We want to find connection being human to human. And this is where we start from, is getting clear on who you are, why you're drawn in the first place to do the work that you do. So we're going to talk about anchoring in first your mission and what your message is. We're going to be talking about identifying who your soulmate clients are. Who are those people you and you alone are meant to serve? And then I'm going to show you the genius. I call it your marketing genie. Wouldn't it be lovely to have your own marketing genie? I'm going to show you how you can use a framework. I've created one I call CARES because we want to make sure that our clients know that we care. And I'll show you how quickly we can inform an AI model to create content based on this framework. Um, and ultimately, at the end, I'm going to show you this really dynamic, a repeatable soulmate strategy. It's a mega prompt that I've been developing over time. And wait till you see the demo. So I like to start with number one. Step one is getting really clear on who you are. What is the work that you were called to do here? Why did you get into doing it in the first place? When we speak from our passion, it takes on an extra sense of magnetism. People right now are hungry to be a part of something bigger than them. So create the picture of what your movement is all about. What is the dream that you've got for the world? That's why I put MLK here in his famous talk, I've Got a Dream. He didn't talk about all the problems and the this and that, what was going on in the day. What he talked about was the vision of the world he wanted everyone to live in. The day that we could stand shoulder to shoulder with our neighbors and be judged by the content of our character rather than the color of our skin. Like that's a message. That's a dream that people can say, I want to be part of that. And AI can help you get to that kind of languaging. What change can people experience after they've had a chance to work with you? The next step two is that we really want to take this time. It's kind of like when you paint a house, like the longest time prepping, trimming out all the things, taking off the faceplates. We want to spend equal kind of time with your preparation when you're making your marketing formula by getting clear on who are those people that you and you alone are meant to serve. Why are you called? Chances are there's been a journey that your soul has called you on to step into this way to help other people not experience the things that you had before. Or maybe you've got a unique vision of what's possible for them that they can't see for themselves right now, that you are really genius at. You are meant for this. When we start talking from this, and it lights us up, right? So there's in marketing terms, there's demographics, and people have mentioned the word avatar. And avatar to me is kind of like a surface level, like you're working with a Sarah who lives in suburbia somewheresville, and she's got two kids and does yoga and wears Lululemon. But what we really want to go to is getting to know our ideal clients it's called psychographics. It's the psyche, what's going on in their heads. What are their biggest struggles, their desires, their motivations, their fears? What keeps them up at night? Have you ever taken those marketing classes and they said, what keeps your ideal clients up at night? I always hated that question because my kind of transformation that I was doing with wasn't an acute challenge where it kept people up at night. It was a low grade simmering of a problem of I'm not loving my life. And so you might be in this kind of challenge. Lorraine was talking about the kinds of health um, challenges that she can help people with. It might be a low simmering problem. So how do we speak to somebody at that level where they're maybe not quite ready to make that decision? What beliefs are they holding right now that they might need to change in order to say, yes, they're ready to start working with you? Because here's something we've probably heard on one level is that people make a decision based on emotion and justify with logic. There's actual science that has studies that shown approximately 95% of the purchasing decisions are driven by subconscious emotional processes rather than conscious rational ones. The reason I share this is that the word subconscious really jumped out at me because people, your ideal clients, may not even be aware of the problem that you're going to help them solve. They're not even aware of it for themselves. So, what kind of content can you create that really speaks to them where they are right now and capture their interests and then lead them through to that deciding factor? And so here's one of the age-old questions is like, oh my gosh, I need to post. What am I going to talk about, right? Um, you can ask AI all of these kinds of questions. You can ask about the clients, what are their fears? What are they afraid this problem is saying about them? What are they afraid to admit to their spouse? Or what are they afraid they're modeling for their kids? Like it can go deep into the psychology right now, and it's astounding the information that you can get from that. So feel free to ask. There is no perfect prompt. That's what's kind of cool now is that you don't have to go to perfect prompt school anymore. It's evolved to the point where it can understand what you're asking of it, and you can give it a role. Like say tell it to become your marketing and messaging expert or a soulful marketing person or whatever you're working on. Allow it to because it can access all the information. So the more you can direct it to narrow its focus because it's going to draw on all the information that's out there, the entire universe of all it's been trained on up until now. So we want to narrow it in, and you can ask it a simple question like, based on the biggest challenges my ideal client is facing right now, create the top, and you can put in whatever number, 5 to 7 content pillars we should be addressing. And it's going to know based on the psychographic profile that it just made from that previous conversation. From here, it's going to become gold on how you understand. We're going to start building and layering these different frameworks, and then I'll show you the genius of it, ChatGPT, how quickly it can put together a 90-day plan for you. So this is a framework that I created because what I was seeing is that a lot of coaches or healer kind of people, the on purpose people, we love to share, we love to uplift others, we want to inspire. So there, once upon a time, everybody was sharing the quotes and the memes and the in the health world, it's easy to share recipes or health tips or morning routines. But that's not content that is going to move a client who's stuck where they are. They've got their doubts. Whether, let's use like diet as an example. People have done a dozen diets and probably still regained all the same weight back over and over again. So they're sitting there in their moment of doubt, wondering, will this work for me? Are you someone I can trust? And will you have my back, essentially? So how do we build that level of trust in the conversations that we're creating with these ideal clients to both draw them in, but also reassure that you've got their back. They're stalking you. They're going to see a lot more information. You may think that people, because the engagement isn't necessarily showing up like that, but people are seeing you. And I'm an energy person, so I believe that even when we're putting the messaging out, whether that person is connected with it or not, you are shining your light, and energetically that it's resonating out there in the world. And I encourage you to consider this framework like this. So I called it the CARES format, essentially creating content to meet them at the stage of their decision-making journey of where they are right now. We need to build trust and gently guide them to a confident yes. And I said gently guide them because I think a lot of us as on-purpose entrepreneurs, we tend to be more those soft, nurturing kind of personalities. There's a way in which we can invite them that feels authentic to us because it's the next stage in how we offer to help them towards getting out of the stuckness that they're in right now. So let me share this quickly. 5 steps, cares. So the first is to connect. And again, let's think about all the content that's being churned out there by AI. It can be kind of robotic, and there's certain language patterns that flag. Was written by an AI. I encourage you to never take what's there. Always infuse your own energy in it. But the thing that makes it particular to you is your quirkiness. What is your pace of speaking? What are the stories? Why are you doing this crazy work that you're doing? What are the values? Who are the people that you follow? I'm an Abraham Hicks fan. So when I share that, some people are like, I don't know what she's talking about. But the people who say, oh, I love them, now there's a deeper resonance because we've got this deeper bond. It's kind of the 6 degrees of separation. What kind of questions or information would you share so that you make that bond if you were meeting somebody or playing that game? The second is authority. Actually, I'll run through these and then go deeper into them and share some prompts. So authority, we want to be the go-to expert. Reframe is about the beliefs that they're having right now. Maybe they're even the subconscious beliefs, but what is the kind of beliefs that they need to shift or have a new perspective on that's going to move them towards that yes? Engage is opening up a dialogue. We don't want to just be preaching at someone. We want to make sure that people feel seen, heard, and understood. So how can we engage and get them to share information with us as well? And sell. Hello. I think all too often, again, us on-purpose entrepreneurs can kind of be tiptoeing around this selling thing. But if you forget to sell, you're leaving them stuck in the stuckness, the pain that they've been in. So C is all about connecting. Show them your personality, your vision, what values, what lights you up. I'm a mountain biker. I live in Colorado. I am fostering a dog. Like, what can you infuse into this that people say, all the Cape Cat people just said, oh man. But the dog people were like, oh yeah, my girl, right? So show, what's from Latin, fly your freak flag. Like, don't be afraid to show up as more as you. The cool thing is they're not looking for perfection anymore. The AI is the perfection part. They want human connection. So show up that side of you that makes you you. Even my friend is from Cincinnati, so her word is goober. She is a goober through and through. And so she shows up in her gooberdom and shines her light like no one else. And people are ultimately, they're not looking for coaching, they're not looking for healing, they're looking for someone to take them through. So be that person for them. I'm not going to spend a lot of time. I just wanted to throw out a couple different, because there is no end to the kinds of prompts that you can come up with. But I wanted to just spark some thoughts. What would be a humorous take that you can ask ChatGPT to create a post on something that's a common problem for people? So, let's use the diet people, or maybe a humorous take on me, I need brownies, whatever it is. You'd be surprised at the fun that you can have with the AI outputs, and ask it to come up with like 7 of them. Pick 4 of them, and then you got one each week for the next 4 weeks. How about an analogy inspired by, I've got a friend who's a big movie fan, and so every week her newsletter is infused with references from movies. But maybe you're a song person, or I'm a mountain biker, so maybe there's things about bicycles, an analogy about bicycling to the top of the mountain about someone who might be stuck with AI. That could be a prompt, and you can drop that in, or ask it about an entertaining story. So these are just, not there's no perfect prompt. Just dive in and start playing. The second is of the CARES format is the A for authority. We want to make sure that we're sharing those how to and the educational posts. That's kind of what we've been doing all along, but we can do it in a way that has a fresh take so that we're always mixing it up. There's different kinds of content that we're sharing so that people don't get bored. So quick tips, you can do checklists, you can do pro insights. You might do pro insights from somebody else or comment on some pro insight that you saw that you don't necessarily agree with. Um, a big one, I think, is myth busting, which I think is great because people have their sets of beliefs that they're, whether it's society, their family, or their school, they've been led to believe that it needs to happen in such and such a way. What are the top myths that people are buying into that they need to maybe throw out the window now? Or maybe you constantly are sharing certain questions you hear over and over again. Share frequently asked questions. Make that a series. Every Friday, we're asking, the most frequently asked questions on uh, attracting clients through your speaking, whatever it is. And then frameworks, like I can share my CARES framework. It was something I created, and you can use AI to help you create it. Client results and case studies, testimonials, and social proof, more important than ever before because people have a kind of like a belief gap, if you will, because there's so many people posing out there as experts. It's more important than ever to have social proof from someone outside of you that kind of legitimizes that you are that person that can actually get them the result that they're looking for. R is kind of, like I said, the reframing bit of a different belief. What's a different perspective that they can have on that? Something might be like, give me a post that challenges my audience's belief on, you know, fasting as being a big challenge or whatever. But you can, do you want an empowering way to see it? Do you want a fun way of seeing it? Do you want a different way of seeing it? Engaging, again, that dialogue when we come into that heart space of recognizing that our people are, each one of us just needs to be seen, heard, and understood, give them a way of interacting with you. So whether that's a fun or thought-provoking question or a poll or a use this or that, and then have them comment on it, help them choose their own path, something that's going to get them to engage in the social media that you're creating. Or maybe you open up a different call on Fridays. We're going to hop on and do a late night connection call for women that are juggling all the hats, kind of a thing, and engage. Here are some different ways that you might prompt ChatGPT. I talk about ChatGPT. It's mine of my choice. I think it's the most robust, and I think it's cutting edge. Use whichever one calls to you and go deep with it and really learn how to work with it. So here's examples of some prompts you could use is ask it to give you 5 engaging questions to ask your clients that spark curiosity and engagement about a certain topic. Or how about ideas about controversial opinions? I was kind of surprised. There's a gal I network with and does content marketing here, and she was saying, "Don't do anything controversial." It's like, oh my gosh, are you kidding? I want to be controversial. I want to
Yeah.
shake out anyone who's not an Abraham Hicks fan. If they're not open to learning about the law of attraction, that's not the people I want in my inner circle. Like I want to be talking about deliberate creation all day long. That kind of conversation is going to be a level 10 for me. The other people I might enjoy with, but why not shoot for the controversial people? So it sifts you out. You're going to be more valuable to that person who's your ideal match than someone who's just kind of a level 8. Let's go for 10. Let's be controversial. Don't be shy. And ultimately, we want to be able to respect our differences anyways, like be that person. And then how about polls? Polls are something that I think are kind of underutilized. It's a simple way that you can kind of check all these boxes and also get them to engage. And then again, don't forget to sell. Don't forget to sell. My friend Liz Wendeling, if you want to learn to sell, she's on the line. And um, there's ways of being yourself and naturally leading people to a conversation where we engage and show them the value of the nature of the work that you do. Nobody does it like you. And there's ways of creating, I say, gentle calls to action. And you can also have ChatGPT give you an escalating call to action. If you've got Catherine Yarborough with her Facebook challenge coming up, do the live videos, guys. Video is off the charts important for us because people can feel your energy. So Catherine can create an escalating call to action. It might be kind of, hey, this is coming up, and then, hey, it's a week away, in a way that feels authentic to you. And you can use ChatGPT to have it capture your voice and check the checkbox of like, we need to create a certain urgency. Like there is space for only 30 people in her challenge. Like you want to make sure you're in on this one because she's not doing it again till next year. So that's an authentic way of creating urgency. And then just have a conversation, have it paint the picture of what the world is going to look like when they've worked with you. Give you a call to action. Here's something it can do: competitor analysis. Hello. Or maybe you see a sales page. There's people like Ted McGrath that, is a multi-million dollar online marketer dude, and he sends out newsletters that are spot on, and he's selling something completely different, but because the framework is in there, the copywriting is so good, you can take that and say, hey, I love the way this call to action came out, or the way he spiced up a controversial something something. Use that as a pattern, put it in, tell it, hey, I like this part of this, make my offer like that, and see what comes out. Testimonials, same kind of thing. What kind of testimonials do I need in order to push somebody who might be on the fence, deciding whether they're going to join my program or not? Have them, what do I need to say now? What kind of testimonials? Not that you're going to use a fictitious testimonial, but now it's like, oh, wait, you know what? Catherine just had that same problem. I'm going to reach out to her and say, you said this, but do you mind if we really focus in on this angle because that's specific to what I'm working on right now? Um, and you can just um, have it highlight different things. But this is where it starts to get juicy. So I've got this mega prompt I've been working on. And so you can have it create. This has been one of my favorite things. I'm an Excel geek. A day without Excel is like a day without sunshine in my world. So create a table of your content for the next 90 days. And we want this soul meets strategy. So you've taken a little bit of time to get the psychographics, get clear on who you are, get clear on your offerings and that kind of thing. Now, what are your goals that you're going to be working on for the next quarter? Promotions, offers might you have? Are there holidays, observances? It's summertime. What's happening? Current events, there's maybe some current events happening that you might want to touch on, and address the top 5 content pillars, because we just asked it about that. And then use the cares format I just told you about in this mega prompt. And I'm going to show you how you can all get on this. So anyways, we want to give ChatGPT, I'm not going to go into this whole thing, but based on all the information I just shared, give it an assignment. You're a soulful content strategist. I want this 90-day program, my audiences, my core messaging platforms are, the upcoming promotions. Share all this information, the cares format, and then ask it to put it in a table and you can put whatever you want in here. I just made this up: day, date, content type, the cares formula type, and the description. You could have it give you a prompt for what kind of VA support your virtual assistant might need in order to make the post on your behalf. But wouldn't it be beautiful if you could just drop that in and have it whip out a 90-day soul meets strategy plan in a flash? How are we doing on time, Catherine?
I want to acknowledge that we are over time, and
Okay.
I hope all of y'all are enjoying this so much that you'll hang out with us and keep going until Kathy is complete. So please do so. And if you have to leave, go catch the rest of this on YouTube, because I'm going to stay here and hear all that she has to say. And I hope you can too, so you can ask her questions.
I asked for volunteers, but I had to cheat and take Catherine in advance because we needed a little bit background information, which you saw. But I just want to show you how fast and brilliant this AI can be for you. So I asked her the questions that we just outlined here. So here's 3 of the promotions that Catherine's got coming up. By the way, she's got a free, is it $57? Killer deal on a 10-day fun Facebook challenge. That's coming up in July. In September, she's got a couple master classes she's got to lead into the Big Kahuna, which is client attraction speaker course in September. Follow her, by the way. Dynamite stuff. And then where are we? Holidays, observances. We're in summer. 4th of July is coming up. Freedom. Back to business will be in August. Labor Day. Be thinking about getting people grounded in their purpose and where do we take it from there. Here's what we came up with as far as asking about 5 pillars that she might want to be talking about. Finding your voice and authentic expression, attracting the right clients through speaking, building visibility and finding the right stages, virtual and live event mastery. She's so good. And monetizing your message. Ultimately, you don't want to just be talking for fun, monetizing your message. Whoops. So I'm going to stop this share and show you real quick. I'm going to share again because I'm going to show you how quickly using that prompt, once we've layered that information that we got from Miss Catherine and then layer it in using that prompt. Oops, this is the way we need to do it. How quickly pure genius can come out. Okay, thank you for seeing that. Escape. There we go. All right, need to come over here to my magic window. And I already dropped in this, oops, nope, here we go, Catherine. So we had previously done a conversation together where we outlined some of the stuff. So whoops, let me find this prompt. I'm sorry. It had been in there and it waited too long for me, so I got to find my prompt again. But I want to show you, cray. Here it is. Acting as a soulful content strategist. Who doesn't want a magic strategist working on your behalf? That's going to make this soul meet strategy kind of thing. It's literally using, oops, Catherine's information above. Okay. So we had the conversation, filled in the information that I just shared with you about Catherine's information. I dropped in now this mega prompt. Let's fill in your, here we go. It's telling us about your messaging. It's confirming your messaging pillars. Here's some of the promotional kind of thoughts coming up. Here's the holidays to be considering. Here's the content frequency that you and I were talking about. And here comes the magic. 90-day soul meet strategy content plan for Catherine Yarbrough. And so you can see on here, this is an entire table that we can download into Excel. It lights me up. And you'll see the day of the week, the kind of posts, the intention is about connection. As summer unfolds, what message is rising in you to be shared? So that might be just an engagement question. She might be able to spin that a couple different ways. Here's one on resonance and reframing. You are never too much. Here's some of the doubts, internal doubts that they might be experiencing. Here's an idea for an email. Your voice is your client attraction superpower. Here's how to begin sharing it, even if it feels scary, because it recognizes the psyche of her ideal clients. And you can see this thing has gone on and on. July, we've got August. Post here's which she'll be saying after her master class. It's built in the promotional sequence that it needed to fill her master class. And now it's knowing that the next focus after that, she's got a second master class coming up. And then in September, the big kahuna coming with her program that she's running in September. So your message is a lighthouse. Let's shine. There's 5 pillars of client attracting speaking. Still on the fence. And then final call. Walla bing. Want more? So that,
Wow. Wow is all I can say. Oh my
okay.
goodness. Oh my goodness. So you have one more thing that you want to tell us, right? Like what's the
I
next step we can take with you? Okay. Take
I
take that away.
So I want everyone to have the opportunity to create what we just created. Catherine and I hopped on the phone, I don't know, 30 minutes to get those pillars in. So what I'm offering is actually for 45 minutes, we'll go in and we'll get out this 90-minute soul meet strategy offer, this whole plan for you. And that you can find me at, it's a Linktree link. So do linktree.com. I'll put it in the / Kathy Basel. And if you schedule, it's right now called the Wow Messaging Makeover. Let me know that you came from On Purpose Women, and we'll extend that to 45 minutes and do this extra step with the mega prompt. And I'm telling you, I know people who charge hundreds of dollars for this. Like literally, I know someone who charged about $500 for a session that delivers some of this magic. And that would be yours for $27 if you go to my link tree.
$7. Oh
I
my
know
goodness.
I made a mistake, so it'll be more than that next time.
Oh my. Wow, well, let folks take
Mhm.
advantage of her mistake. You got to put
Yeah.
that link in the chat now, right now, Kathy.
Let me pop that in.
So, yeah, wow. So hold your questions, everybody. We're going to wrap this up while she's doing that. I'm going to put my spotlight back on and do that. So folks, if you're watching the replay way later than we did it, then be sure to check with Kathy about what she's doing now when you're watching this. Those of you who are here, wow, oh my goodness. So let me wrap this up today. To everyone who joined us live or who is watching the replay. Before we do that, what I want to do is have all of us unmute and clap and holler for Kathy, because that was amazing, right? Let's do it. Woo, 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 woo. Thank you all very much. Kathy, that was brilliant. And I'm sorry that I didn't do timing as well as I could, because I know you were rushing through all that great content. But for everyone who joined us live or is watching the replay, thank you for being part of this vibrant, supportive, and purpose-filled community that I love from the bottom of my heart. If you'd like to learn more about how to get involved on our Zoom or in-person gatherings or explore On Purpose Woman magazine, head on over to opwgc.com. We'd love to connect with you again. So until next time, stay inspired, stay authentic, and stay connected.